What's up, everyone? This is Luisa here at Beanalog Studio, and today I'm here with Otis, aka Mewt Keys, and he's gonna be talking to us about his new upcoming release called Early Morning. And we're really excited to have you here today at the studio. And I wanted to let you know that I'm very proud that you're releasing your song on all platforms, right? Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah. So, I'm going to be releasing Early Morning, and I'm happy to be here too with you guys. It's going to be on Spotify, Apple Music. I don't think iTunes is around anymore. You know what I mean? That's a good question. But, it's going to be on all the major music platforms and on Bandcamp as well. So if I think Bandcamp's the bigger one supporting directly for artists. So, it's been a pretty long process, so
Yeah,
excited.
getting something done is really, really hard. And I'm pretty proud of you for doing it. And Bandcamp is having every month, every first Friday of the month, they're having a sale where they give most of the money to the artists. So if anybody's out there and they want to get the new upcoming release of Mewt Keys, you can get it. And it's going to be cool because he's going to be receiving all the money. So
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
My most of my catalog's on Bandcamp, so
Okay. Are you under Mewt Keys as well?
yeah. And then I
Okay.
have some older releases. This is for if you really want to hear the origins of how I got to Mewt Keys. There's Cosm. There's that on Bandcamp. I left that up there because some people kind of find that interesting. I do. So if anyone's interested in what my first year of production sounded like, it's up there too.
Do you have any free tracks there, or do you have any? Free downloads.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. I do. I have a side project called Daydream Wave Radio,
Okay.
and it's so my tracks are free. So it's not necessarily a group or a label or anything. It's like a collective, and it's a collection of similar sounds. So there are different artists on there: Urian, Rave Death, Kovac, myself, and a few more other people on there. But as far as my catalog goes, there's free tracks. Those tracks are free. Those tracks
Okay.
are definitely free.
Yeah, we just want to let people know that there's also like a little bit. You can support us, but we still have some free good stuff for you. So just keep an eye and visit his Bandcamp page for it.
Yeah.
Can you please spell your the way people?
Yeah. So it's MEWT KEYS. Mewt Keys. Yeah.
Why is that? Why Mewt Keys? Why did you selected that name?
So I don't want to put my friend on the spot, but I gotta put him on the spot. So when I started producing as Cosm, I wasn't really into tech house, so I wasn't really into electronic music, but we would always go to the raves and the shows, and my friend would take me. Kovac would always take me, and I would always kind of talk shit. I'd be like, "Oh, I can make this music. It's in my sleep. It's so easy." And so one day he was like, "Well, do it." And when I was writing as Cosm, he would always tell me there's too much synth in your music for the modern tech house, like Fisher and Chris Lake and some of those other guys. And so I kind of thought it was funny if I made a separate artist that heavily emphasized on synthesizers. So when I mean synthesizers, I don't mean the equipment like the ones that's behind me.
Yeah.
I mean like a focus on like atmosphere and melody, and of course in today's tech house it's not really that. It's very jump up, hyped up,
Very dance floor related,
yes.
Yes, for sure.
So the Mewt Keys kind of came as a play on words, like you need to mute your keys, you need to kind of put a
Cut it
cap
out.
on them. Yeah, you got a cap on them, and then so that's how that came about. That's why I chose that name. But the Mewt, the way it's spelled, is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. It's a video game, and we'll get into it later, but video games do play a huge part in my music, and there's a character there who's a very shy and quiet and reserved character, and he comes across a grimoire. His name's Mewt.
Well, that's my next question. What are your
Yeah.
influences on this single that you have coming up?
So for early morning, I I I think as a creative, I think I partially blame this to my creativity. I don't sleep at night. Well, because of the things that I'm doing now, I have to adjust my schedule to accommodate getting my full nights of rest. And obviously during the day you want to be up and doing things, but just this year I had made this change. So up until this point, I would stay up all night writing, drawing, producing, and it was like a breath of fresh air when I would see the sun coming up over the horizon. And when I wrote this song, I was actually taking inspiration from Rave Death's release on Daydream Wave Radio. And that night, I was so blown away by that track. I listened to it like 30 times. And that night, I was like, you know what? I want to match something with this. Now, Rave Death is my friend. And I like having him in my circle because we kind of play off each other. It's not competitive in a way. It's a very good, healthy competitive, right? It's a healthy competition. And so the inspiration really came from his track. And the fact that I named it and put that kind of work into it was because his track to me reflected a little bit more of the night, maybe from midnight to 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. And my track reflected a little bit more of the emotions,
Sunrise?
yes, that come with the dawn of a new day,
Yeah. So if I play that in Ibiza, it will be a hit.
And it'd be, yeah, the sun's coming up. Yeah, the sun's coming up, yeah.
That's
People
so
will
cool.
feel it.
Yeah, we're okay. So right now in camera, can you show people your T-shirt? That's that's part of your merchandise, right?
Yeah, I got I got a little R&D thing going on here, so I don't know if you can see it, but
How does your art influence your music or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. It's I started drawing when I was in like first grade, second grade maybe. I used to draw on my homework assignments and my tests. They used to I don't know if you remember this, but they used to give you a sheet with like 100 problems of math, simple division or subtraction, multiplication, and they would time you for like 5 minutes, and you would have to try to get down as far as you could, right? Well, I was never really good at that. I could never do the division and I don't remember if they had division, maybe very easy math problems. But what I would do is I would actually just draw on my paper. Like, I would just give up. It was too hard for me. I would just be like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get an F anyways. I'm going to just draw on my paper. So what I would do is I would spend those 5 minutes drawing. And I think if I can, like, reflect on myself a little bit more, my artistic vision has always been some sort of way of communicating.
Yeah.
So I use art and words and sounds, to communicate how I feel or what I'm thinking or a vision or an idea, which is very uncommon. I mean, of course, everybody does it, right, with language. Language is a way of communicating. But for me, I've always felt that...
your drawings were a way of communicating
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cute too. Do you have any other characters? Yeah. Are you gonna be selling those T-shirts on Bandcamp or in Bandcamp?
Yeah, I'm trying to right now to wrap my head around the most effective way to do this, because
Yeah.
I don't want to be out of reach of people who just want to buy the shirts.
Yeah.
Right? I want to make it what I'm saying is I want to make it easy for people to just, hey dude, I want a couple shirts, like, can I buy them, order them? Yes. Send them to them, or
Yes.
pick them up. So anywhere that I can do that, I'm going to be trying to push that. So Bandcamp is definitely one of them.
Well, you can ask the king of merchandise, Bert the Fix.
Yeah.
He knows how to do that.
I'm going to ask him, yeah.
So, Earlier you were talking to us about your influences with video game music, right?
Yeah.
And do you have any artist in particular that you may like to talk about, or somebody that has influenced you?
In video game music, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's so it's weird because there's always that there's I mean the games some people I know play the video games just to para pasar el tiempo, to pass the time, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I've always kind of taken video games as this an alternative, as a media, as a way of telling a story, which was relatively new when video games were coming out when I was growing up, you know. Up to a certain point, I think it was just to, you know, an objective, get a high score and be the best at that game, right? Like Pac-Man, Galaga. um, so I always took video games as a source of inspiration in these ideas and these stories. I think video games now, where they are now, is a really good way to tell stories. So I've taken everything from video games, like to its design, to its gameplay mechanics, to its the art. You know, the artists that do the character modeling and the concept art and all of that, down to even the people that score for the game. You know, when I say score, I mean do the music.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So I have, you know, Metal Gear Solid is a big one. Well, I would have to say Kojima, Hideo Kojima. The way his mind revolves around telling that narrative was always very interesting to me. And I think that is probably one of the only games that I can say from the beginning to the end of its creation uh, artistically influences my vision. Um, so it's not like just one aspect of it, it's the whole planning and the mastermind ideas and thought process that went into it, you know, because he's very Hideo Kojima, the way he makes these games, it's not just, hey, we're gonna make a shooter and it's gonna have dubstep or some crazy electronic music. No, everything is very calculated and precise in what he does, that you have to kind of respect it as a whole. Yeah.
How do you feel about releasing your first single of the year? You know, after this tough time for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel really like like it's a huge accomplishment on my own, you know, because I'm here with you guys as well, and I finally feel like I'm part of a big community.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel necessarily like I'm very proud of myself, but I'm also proud to represent my community.
Yeah.
And I think that when you don't have that kind of support, you know, especially going through what we've been going through, you know, these last 2 years, it's it can kind of alienate people. You
Yeah.
know, you can kind of feel a little, ¿cómo se dice? Como
Like you're not in the place.
yeah, like
I
not
mean,
influenced. You know,
yeah.
like there's a term for it that describes it perfectly in Spanish, but desanimado. I think that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel
Um,
with not being able to accomplish things, it just makes you sad,
yeah.
and I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
when you accomplish something and you finish it, it's a rewarding
It's
experience.
a big
Yeah.
it hits you really well, and I think that because when this happened, when this all this started, I felt like, you know what,
I'm gonna
I'm
quit. I'm gonna quit everything. Everybody
no,
wants to quit.
it's not, yeah, it's not even quitting. It's more, I felt more like there's no point to it. There was no, I was like, there's no, I'm here at home all day, and you know, I left my job. And you know, I was scared, man. I was like, "What's going on?" It's crazy. There's a lot of people saying these things and people saying these things,
Hmm.
and I felt a little bit hopeless at some time. But
Music
yes,
saved
yes,
you.
it did.
Yeah,
It
for
did,
sure.
because when, even though I was feeling hopeless, like I would still jump on Ableton and be like, "Yo, man, these are crunchy," you know, and nothing really changed, you know, for me. I think I was just kind of in my head about what was happening. You know, it's scary with what was happening, definitely. But for the most part, you know, I remember I would go on my walks, and The only thing that I mean, no offense, I'm trying to keep people's that did go through a lot these years
Yes.
into consideration, but it wasn't too big on me, so I think I just hunkered down. I did what I could and I stayed positive, and I had a lot of friends who did lose a lot of family,
Yeah.
and the best thing that I could do was be there to support them.
Yeah.
And now that we're here, I think I learned, and a lot of my friends who started out producing took this time to aprovechar.
Yes.
They they how do you say, like, they in English,
Well, a lot of people took this time to really like work on their craft.
yes.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
was working on what they believe
People
it
were
was
doing
gonna
yes.
make them happy during the
Mhm.
time that they were put away, because I mean we were in quarantine for quite a while,
Yes.
and a lot of people didn't really know what to do.
Mhm.
So a lot of those people that were just doing this for a hobby, it actually became like a way of living now.
Yeah.
So it is kind of
Mhm.
you see somebody blossom, and I mean that
Yeah.
makes me happy.
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for
and I
sure.
think too, to come out of that with the that well, not maybe not that expectation, but to be like, wow, dude, like, to think, like a year ago, I was not doing this. You know what? There's some, you can take the good and the bad from what happened, and I just try to see the good. You
Yeah,
know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the positive thing, and the positive thing is that
Mhm.
that you are accomplishing finishing a track, which
Yeah.
is really hard to do, people.
Yeah.
And and tell me that I have a bunch of loops
Mhm.
and never,
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm gonna finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we met Otis on our gear meetups
Yes.
every month.
Mhm.
We do
I
those
love those things.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Beanalog meetups are every month of the month, and right now we're getting together at 501 Bistro,
Yes.
which is located at 501 Texas Avenue, and we're gonna have the next one coming up soon.
Mhm.
We'll leave you the details on a link around here.
Yeah.
So you can visit us. It's really cool. You have the opportunity to meet a lot of people who think like you,
Mhm.
and who are willing to give you information, and who are willing just to collaborate and learn. And
And
I don't know,
talk.
it's very funny. It's very funny and
Yeah.
fun, and just such a good vibe. So
Yeah.
we that's how we met.
Yeah.
And I know that you haven't been living here in El Paso for long. You come in and well, I mean, I know that you're Horizon. Horizon
Mhm.
is it's called Horizon City, and
Yeah.
it's our sister city here from El Paso. It's like probably like 10-15 minutes difference. I don't know,
Yeah.
on the freeway
Yeah.
when there's no traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you feel about I don't know, the music scene? What's up with you? Are you playing your tracks out there when you go out and play?
Yes.
Because I know that you're also doing a live performance, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I play with an APC 40 Mark II and a BeatStep Pro. That's it. Everything I do in Ableton. I break my tracks. Essentially, what I do is, like, I write the music and then I break them down into 8 stems because it's 8 channels on
Okay.
the APC. And I launch my clips. I break them up into sections so that I have a little bit more free
Room to
range
play.
over, like, DJing. I did start out DJing. This was 2016. But once I found out, like, hey, I could be producing, I took it from there.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, going back to the initial question is, with Horizon, we moved here 2004 to Horizon City. The house that I live in now is I had moved here with my grandparents, and I'm originally from California, born and somewhat raised in California, but I took this as my permanent home because I don't know. I don't
Come
know
on,
why.
Texas is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
I mean,
yeah.
I gotta give it up to our. Let's not get political here, but
Mhm.
but yeah, Texas is beautiful, and El Paso is a beautiful city.
Mhm.
Horizon City is a beautiful, like urban style. Can I say that urban?
Yeah, urban. Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
still not very big, but not too small. and we're kind of almost kissing.
Yes.
El Paso and
Yeah.
Horizon's almost
So
like
yeah,
so close together.
yeah.
So
I would consider Horizon more of like a outskirts of El Paso.
yeah,
Like I know a lot of people just consider it El Paso because I would say El Paso is pretty big.
yeah,
Um,
we're expanding so quick.
yes, and even too with the development right now in Horizon City, it's a little. I think they have plans to kind of interlink both of them with like a freeway or a mega highway or something like that, which I think is it's good because it is expanding, but at the same time too, I've watched the land change over time,
Yes.
and I think I always remember like I mean now we have a Walmart and
Ooh,
like 3 McDonald's and 3 Whataburgers and yes,
you're a
all that
city.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, it's
we're a
Horizon
now.
City. Yeah,
Yeah.
Horizon City.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have any upcoming shows
You know what? I have
on the works?
Yes, I'm playing on a show with Robbie Rivera.
Cool. Robbie Rivera is
Yeah.
always such a good. He's very fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to meet him. I want to meet
Yeah,
him.
he's a nice person too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I used to when I used to be a roadie,
Mhm.
I set up for him. So and he was very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's been here a couple of times.
Yes, I
I
think.
think he has a
El
house
Paso
here. I'm
loves-
just kidding.
yeah.
No,
El
no,
Paso
no.
loves Robbie
Yeah,
Rivera.
and El Paso, Texas loves Robbie Rivera, and I'm so glad that you got that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I think, I had gotten asked to play that show in February or
Cool.
March, and I remember looking at my calendar like,
It's
dude,
so
it's
far
like
away.
4 months away. It's so, and then right now it's only
Like
it's
this.
it's like 3 weeks from now.
Yes. Yes.
And I so I didn't know anybody. I moved back and forth all the time, and right now I got offered this opportunity by Gerardo, right?
Yeah.
Who's a really good guy, and
It's another promoter
yes,
for the ones that so
Shameless Entertainment.
Shameless
yes.
Entertainment. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they hooked me up with that, and it's difficult. I mean, for me, it's difficult because I like I said, I'm a little bit more. I like my privacy. I kind of like to sometimes disappear for weeks.
That's
on
just
end.
an artist thing.
Yeah, and
That-
it's hard having to talk to all these people and leave. But I love having these people in my life. I
Yeah,
do.
for sure,
I
for
do.
sure. Yes, it is
You
the your friends and the fans and people trying to keep you going.
Yes.
Yeah, which is good,
Mhm.
because if it wasn't for the people around you, I mean, we wouldn't be able to do anything. I think.
Yeah. Like I think about it so I didn't after high school even during high school I knew I was not going to go to college or university or any of that.
Mhm.
When I was out of high school, I was at some point I did think, you know what, I'm going to go to art school and
Stay in school, kids. Stay in
yeah,
school.
stay in school because right now it's tough, man. It's really tough, unless you
It's very important just for the fact that we need school and to learn.
Yes.
You need to be motivated to stay in school.
You need something to do. You need
Yes.
something to keep you to have goals because what I've noticed up until now is I think it was Ray who had asked me yesterday. He goes, "Well, what were you doing before you were doing music?" And I was like, no, nothing.
Oh, that give you an existential crisis. That was an existential crisis question.
Luckily, it didn't trigger me into an existential crisis. But if he would have asked me that, a couple years earlier, yes,
You'd be like, what am
I would have been like, dude, I'm just
doing?"
working at Walmart, and there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
no.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But I didn't really have. Well, I mean, I did
Mhm.
sort of. Again in high school, I thought right out of high school I was gonna be like some badass painter, and I was gonna sell millions of dollars in paintings, and then when I was 18 and I was freelancing at home, I realized real quick. I think my first year I only made $60 my first year freelancing. That's nothing. That's nothing, dude.
It's tough out here
Yeah.
for a hustler.
yeah, you gotta really hustle, But I noticed that having people, because I would just lock myself in the garage and just paint, and
Yeah.
it was a very intimate thing that I had with my work,
Mm-hmm.
and but if people don't know that that's how it is, they
Well,
there's no appreciation to it. You know what I'm saying?
you need to let people know that you're doing things. You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes people are so distracted doing other things. So
Mhm.
if you really wanna show your work, you gotta tell people like, hey, I'm producing. Hey, I'm
Hey,
painting.
this is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing.
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes.
You know, and try to, just be happy because that's gonna make you happy. You know,
Mhm.
that's what it is. You know, knowing that people know who you are and that you
Yeah.
exist and your art's out there.
Mhm.
It does give you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So you keep doing things. You know, you
Yeah.
keep doing things, and that's a positive
It's
about
it's a
doing
cycle.
art.
Mhm.
About doing art. I'm sorry.
Yeah, doing art. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I would consider music, writing,
It's art.
art. It's art. It's in the same way like painting and right. It's all art.
Everything's an art
Uh-huh.
as long as you're doing it right, and I don't know if you're investing your time on it too. You
Mhm.
know.
Well,
But yeah, well, going back to your
mhm.
release,
Mhm.
okay? So when is early morning? Because we're gonna close this interview with the good stuff.
Okay.
When are we expecting early morning?
In July 2nd, the same day I'm playing with Robbie Rivera.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is gonna be on.
Spotify, or what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah, it's gonna be on all the major music platforms.
Okay.
Bandcamp included.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a Facebook account where people can follow you?
Yeah. It's Otis Andres.
Ores Andres. And what about your Instagram? Because a lot of people don't like Facebook.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So my Instagram is Mewt MEWT _
Mhm.
Keys KEYS. Yeah.
Well, we want to appreciate, we want to say thank you to the people who are watching this, and we appreciate you and hope to hear more of your music. We want you to finish more tracks,
Yeah.
and we're gonna continue doing this. And thank you for trusting Beanalog to
Yes.
help you with this, and and I don't know, let's do this and keep
Yeah.
going. And thank you so much.
If you're listening, come to the gear meetups. They're really fun.
Yes. Thank you so much and have a great day. Goodbye.
Alrighty, dude.